Imagine removing every sensible budget constraint from a hardware design team and asking them to build a portable command center. The result is a machine that ignores standard laptop conventions entirely. This is the 2026 Asus ROG Zephyrus Duo. Its defining feature is obvious from the moment you open it: two massive integrated displays. You are looking at twin 16-inch OLED touchscreens. They share the same crisp 2880 by 1800 resolution, deep contrast, and smooth 120 Hz refresh rates. Pushing pixels to that much real estate requires serious silicon. Asus packed this with an Intel Ultra 9 processor and Nvidia's top-tier RTX 5090 GPU. Housing two screens and flagship chips means sacrificing portability. The chassis is nearly an inch thick and weighs in at a hefty 6.17 pounds. But the weight in your backpack is nothing compared to the hit on your wallet. At $5,500, the conversation shifts from engineering to economics, specifically whether any portable machine can ever be worth this much. Reviewing a laptop like this forces a direct confrontation between the convenience of an all-in-one setup and the brutal reality of price-to-performance metrics. With traditional gaming laptops, your money maximizes frame rates. Here, you pay a massive premium for a second monitor, but that screen blocks airflow. Cramming two OLEDs and flagship components into a folded chassis choked the cooling, forcing the hardware to throttle its capabilities. So you have to throw out your traditional logic about what a $5,500 machine should achieve on a benchmark test. A $5,000 investment buys the privilege of folding a complex desktop workflow into a backpack. In this price bracket, you are choosing the density of the workspace over the speed of the silicon. To understand exactly what you are sacrificing for that second screen, we need to look at how the internal hardware actually behaves under load. High-end laptop GPUs operate under strict wattage limits, known as total graphics power, or TGP. More wattage equals more performance, but it also creates more heat. Because of its thermal constraints, the Zephyrus Duo caps its RTX 5090 at a peak of 135 watts. That falls noticeably short of the chip's maximum 150-watt specification. In the Black Myth Wukong benchmark, the Zephyrus Duo 5090 hits 51 frames per second. The Razer Blade 16, with the same GPU but better cooling, pushes 70. Remarkably, laptops with a lesser RTX 5080 beat the Duo due to standard power allowances. If your primary goal is maximizing raw gaming frame rates, the physics of this dual-screen chassis make it a mathematically poor investment. But evaluating the Duo purely on benchmark charts misses the point of why this machine exists. The appeal is in the physical experience. Asus designed the mechanical keyboard to be completely removable. You can set the screens on a table, pull the keyboard onto your lap, and use it wirelessly for over 6 hours. It offers deep 1.7mm key travel and a satisfying tactile response. You will need to keep the power brick handy, though. Running a discrete GPU and two giant high-resolution OLEDs drains the 90-watt-hour battery quickly away from the wall. When it is plugged in, the workflow is incredible. You can run Battlefield 6 at over 90 frames per second on the top screen, while simultaneously managing Discord, a Twitch stream, and your browser tabs on the bottom screen. That is the true value of the Duo. It takes a complex multi-monitor desktop setup and lets you execute it comfortably from your living room couch while someone else uses the TV. Still, we have to return to that $5,500 price tag. If you have that exact budget, you have to ask yourself what else you could buy instead of forcing everything into one machine. Let's map out a traditional path for someone who prioritizes visual fidelity and maximum gaming performance. You could buy a freshly updated Razer Blade 16 with the same CPU and 5090 GPU, pair it with a brand new $350 Alienware QD OLED external monitor, and still save $650 compared to the Duo. Or let's say you want the ultimate split, a heavy-duty rig for pure gaming and a portable, efficient machine for your creative work. You could buy the Asus Strix Scar 16 with the RTX 5080 for gaming and a 14-inch M5 MacBook Pro for portability. This strategy gives you better machines for both, and the combo costs $500 less than the Zephyrus Duo. Ultimately, purchasing the Duo is economically inefficient. You are paying a heavy premium purely to avoid the friction of owning two separate devices. So who should actually buy this? The easiest way to decide is to figure out who definitely shouldn't. If you are a pragmatic power user, someone who meticulously tracks the thermal efficiency, the benchmark scores, and the price-to-performance ratios, look away. Buy a standard single-screen powerhouse with better cooling, let the GPU run at maximum wattage, and pocket the leftover cash. Likewise, if you are an office-focused worker who just wants dual screens for snapping spreadsheets and writing emails, this is massive overkill. Asus makes the much lighter ZenBook Duo specifically for you. If you try to justify the Zephyrus Duo using strict logic or spreadsheet math, it fails. The Zephyrus Duo targets a very specific, unconstrained enthusiast. It exists for the nomadic multitasker, the person who demands a dense, multi-window command center, but flatly refuses to be tied down to an office desk. Owning this laptop is also a flex. It is an outrageous, head-turning piece of engineering that feels entirely unique to use. It is, practically speaking, a laptop built for nobody, yet it easily stands as the undisputed champion of its niche. If you want into the exclusive dual-screen gaming club, you have to leave strict logic behind. You have to lead with your heart.